Drake sued his record label, UMG, for defamation. Defamation being a false or underprivileged statement that hurts someone's reputation. Hurting his reputation. How would they hurt his reputation? The way that they promoted Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar had a great fire at Drake and demolished him through that as well. Drake does not like that, so Drake is trying to do something right now to stop that. He recently had his last lawsuit against Kendrick Lamar dropped. He dropped it yesterday morning, so that was Wednesday morning. He dropped it, and he filed this new defamation lawsuit against his record label for alleged defamation over Kendrick Lamar's diss track, Not Like Us. According to the court documents, Drake says that there was an approved, published, and launched campaign to create a viral hit out of a rap track that falsely accuses Drake of being a pedophile and calls him a violent retribution against him. Now, why would Drake do something like this? I'll get into that, but first, let's look deeper into what this lawsuit actually claims. And if it actually is going to pass in court, if he's actually going to get it off whatever he wants to do, if he wants to get it off streaming charts, if he wants Kendrick Lamar to not be able to perform it anymore, let's hear what it is. Kendrick in the song says, "Say Drake, I hear you like him young. Certified pedophile should be placed on neighborhood watch." Him going at previous allegations of Drake talking to people under the age of 18. And there was a lot of information coming around that time, a lot of information being pushed on the internet to also show this to us. Now, Drake has went as far to say that Drake has never engaged in any acts that would require he be placed on neighborhood watch. Drake has never engaged in sexual relations with a minor, and Drake has never been charged with or convicted of any criminal acts whatsoever. Now, obviously, with a defamation lawsuit, there's different things that you can go for. I don't believe it's detailed what exactly Drake is trying to get out of this lawsuit. He may be trying to get more money. He may be trying to get this off streaming services. If anyone does know what Drake is trying to get through this lawsuit, please let me know in the comments below. But to get back to what his label said, his label quickly responded to him on Wednesday and with the following statement saying, "Throughout his career, Drake has intentionally and successfully used UMG to distribute his music and poetry, to engage in conventionally outrageous back and forth rap battles, to express his feelings about other artists. We know this was true. We know that during the Meek Mill era, UMG was supporting Drake and dropping those songs on Meek Mill. We also know he did other tracks, such as Summer 16, which he dropped on Tory Lanez. He had different diss tracks that UMG has helped him with." Him saying right here that Drake has done what Kendrick Lamar just did right now, and they go further to say he now seeks to weaponize the legal process to silence an artist's creative expression and to seek damages from UMG for distributing that artist's music. Now, Kendrick and Drake both are under UMG. Their music is both released from UMG, and Drake is trying to get money. He's trying to get this song off streaming services. Why would he be trying to get this song off streaming services? Well, as you all know, the Super Bowl is coming up in February. And who is the headliner for the Super Bowl? You guessed it, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is the headliner for the Super Bowl. Drake does not want Kendrick to perform this at the Super Bowl, because that would look horribly on him. The Super Bowl is one of those sporting events that people show into, people watch, and people actually listen to. So to see Kendrick out there saying that Drake's a pedophile, saying that Drake did this, Drake did that, Drake does not want that. And obviously Drake feels some type of way currently, so he's filing this defamation lawsuit after he previously dismantled his last lawsuit that I'll picture on the screen right now so you can see. His label went into saying, "We have not and do not engage in defamation against any individual. At the same time, we will vigorously defend his litigation to protect our people and our reputation, as well as any artist who might directly or indirectly become a frivolous litigation target for having done nothing more than write a song." So them saying right here that they're going to defend Kendrick Lamar, as Kendrick really did nothing. He just is creatively expressing himself, and that's the expression that's put out to people. And if somebody gets offended by that, that's on them own selves. That's not being targeted in that type of sense. Obviously, he's saying stuff. Kendrick is saying stuff towards Drake. That makes sense, but the UMG label is trying to say that they did not promote this to people. They're not putting more emphasis into promoting it. They're not trying to single it out and actually push it more forward. The previous lawsuit went into faking the streams on Not Like Us. And if that would be true, then that would be pushing it more further into the eyes of people. Drake dismantled his last lawsuit. He took his last lawsuit off of the court documents. He's done with that. So why would he push this forward? He's trying something. He's trying something, and he's trying to be tactical in his movements. He's trying really hard. That's what I believe. I believe he's trying really hard to be tactical. He's trying really hard before this Super Bowl drop. I've seen a lot of responses of this, people being like, Drake is mad. Drake does not take this well. And yes, you can see that Drake is mad. He is mad. He's presenting that right there. And he's not being the most cooperative in the situation. If it was against one of us, if one of us was rapping and a similar thing was done, we'd be taking all the legal action in our own lives as well. I'm not trying to condemn Drake and be like, it's okay what what Drake's doing, I'm gonna try and look at this from a whole situation. From a whole situation standpoint, we see that Drake wants this off of streaming services. 100%. I understand why he would want it off streaming services. But then again, Boy put out 2 diss tracks on Kendrick that's on streaming services. He has Family Matters and he has Push-Ups out directly at Kendrick. You can't disprove that that's not towards Kendrick because he clearly mentions physical attributes and monumental attributes and even mentions his name closely. There's so much that goes into it. It's like you want to preach something. You want to say, hey, don't do this. But then you're doing the exact same thing. Quite hypocritical. Hypocritical to say one thing and then do another. I understand why he'd be doing such though. He's trying to point himself. He's trying to come out on top. He's trying to win it. Obviously, all of us in life, we want to win stuff. We want to be the best. We want to be heard. We want to be understood. Drake is the same. Kendrick is the same. All these rappers are the same. They're all like us. They obviously have to make business moves because they're in the business light, so that business light is on their face. But outside of all that, they still want to come out on top. They still want to be shown to the world in a positive life, and that's what Drake's doing. And I think that this is just trying to dismantle for the whole Super Bowl thing. I think the Super Bowl thing would be massive. If he brings Not Like Us out on the Super Bowl, I want to see what the media is going to do. I want to see what you guys are going to do. People are going to go crazy on the internet. They always go crazy for this kind of stuff. And yeah, it's cool that something like that would happen, that it's like a diss track towards someone. It's interesting. It's something to talk about. But from like a more spiritual standpoint, if we look at it from a spiritual standpoint, Drake is someone who's extremely spiritual. He's someone who really wants to grow himself. He's someone who's looked into the laws of the universe, if you guys have heard of those, into the laws of the universe, more like cause and effect, more like law of vibration, more like law of frequency. That stuff is more than just physical. Obviously, we observe physicality. We see that items are physical. We hear that music is just vibration. And Drake has played with this, and Drake has talked about this in a few of his songs. Where am I going with this? Drake may be doing something underlying with his own spirituality, with his own person who he is, and that might be something that he's also provoking. Him trying to walk past this negativity, him trying to walk past all of this. Maybe he's grown through it. I don't know if he has. There's so much that can go into it, and we may never know what exactly Drake is thinking unless he tells us straight up, like on an Instagram live or on an Instagram story, what exactly he's thinking. That's all up for interpretation. So I'd love to hear how you guys interpret all of this. If you guys think that this is for the Super Bowl, if you think that Drake is taking a new stance in this new year in his spirituality, whatever it may be, there's so much that it could be. I'd love to hear all of your comments in the comments below. I make a lot of videos on this channel about hip-hop, about rapping, about spirituality. So if you want to hear about that kind of stuff, more yapping about spirituality or learn something, this video right here. That box, Disney Channel. Check that out. I love you guys. I'm Blue Vanity. Thank you. Take care.